When You Were My Girl, Matt Cardle from the album Porcelain. The man has gone very, very funky. But the question is, how funky do you feel this morning, Matt Cardle, after having a night out in Belfast on a Sunday?
I feel really funky.
That's a lie.
I'm not sure it's the right kind of funky, though.
Good night last night?
Yeah, it was great. It's just great to be back over here. Great to be back playing. Yeah, thanks.
And with a bunch
me.
of new songs as well.
I know. Do you know what? It's always such a pleasure to come back and start playing something different. You know, not that I get bored of it. You know, but also by the time the album's out, I mean, I've been sat with that album for a year. You know,
Seriously?
I've been writing it. So I mean, when I wrote This Trouble Is Ours, it was 8 months ago. You know, so I've heard that song a lot.
But you've heard it a lot. But have you performed it a lot?
No,
that's the difference, isn't it?
It's a huge difference. Something that is a shame, but it's just the way the world works. It's the way the industry works. It cannot work the other way around. But it would be the ultimate to write an album, go out and tour it, come back, get in the studio
and
with everything you've actually learned from it. Because in 8 months' time, once we've toured it, I will sing these songs so much better than even the album.
But then maybe you could do a remix album.
Yes, that's true. Or live albums. That's why it's,
Do you know what? A live album. There's the answer, isn't it? But just chatting about that track, When You Were My Girl, it has that really funky Nile Rodgers thing going on.
It does. I mean, I started writing it in Los Angeles with...
First name in Los Angeles. Oh, my.
With JC Chazet from NSYNC. And a friend of his, Jimmy. And it was just, we had that great bass line, and we just started from there, and by the time it came to to put it to radio, we were like, it's very bare in the verses, we need a little something to pick it up, so we put the guitar part down, and that's
great, isn't it?
That's the right bit to do, the right
certainly
thing to
is.
do.
But that on the album, and that standalone is a really funky track, but listening to the entire album, it's called Porcelain. Is that because it's delicate? It'll last for years, and you want to keep it in a good room, as my mother would say with her porcelain.
Mantelpiece. No, it's for me the track Porcelain it's the age-old sentiment of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But there was a track on my last album called Lately, which kind of summed up the entire album for me, in the same way that Porcelain sums up Porcelain for me. It's about all the horrible things that happen to you in life, and not necessarily horrible, but all the good and bad stuff that happens to you in life makes you who you are. And also my last album was called The Fire, and the last line of the chorus is, now you've come through the fire and that makes you porcelain. So I mean, it's a little twist on the two albums as well.
Well, if I was asked to name this album, I would call it Variety.
Yeah.
Really, because it does show the variation of your sounds, and also, like, you give your voice a fair old workout, don't you?
Yeah. I tell you what, I mean, after I finished every album, my voice was gone, but especially this one, I couldn't sing for about 3 or 4 weeks after.
There's a track called In Chains.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to work out what is going on at the end of that, because you're giving it everything, aren't you?
Yeah. And it's funny, I kind of wanted that track to finish off the album just because it went to those places, but I think it's probably the best way to kick off the album. But I mean, that's the stuff I was doing way before the X Factor in my metal bands and stuff. Like, I'm screaming at times and I'm playing guitar solos and stuff, and, it's all going off. It's all good.
It's not brilliant, though.
I loved it. I mean, it's my favourite track on the album. It will be to play as well.
And you go from that to the sort of the sparseness of Not Over You, which just, it lifts you up and it just rips your heart out, and then it jumps up and down on top of it, doesn't it?
Well, it's I tell you what, that song is the most honest, and it's just the most honest I've ever been. I mean, there was a track on The Fire called All That Matters, which was,
I remember that.
That was very much in the same vein.
I remember that because we spoke about that, and I remember you saying that was just you being very honest and saying, it's not over. I'm still in my head. Yeah, and it's the same with this, and it wasn't that long ago that I finished writing the track. So those feelings are still very fresh, and I still feel a lot of those things, unfortunately. But it's the way life is. It's the way your heart is. Is it good to get it out that way in song? Or does it keep coming back to remind you whenever you sing it?
Not necessarily, because if people like it, then you keep having to sing it and keep having to be reminded of it.
That's what I mean,
yeah. I mean, and one day, if I am ever over it, then I will be, and I can call it Over You. Over you, just cut the knot
just
out.
Cut out knot. There we are. You can round all the record shops with a felt tip pen.
Yeah,
Take out the knot.
Yeah, we can leave it on there for the moment.
Oh, good. But it's apart from that, it's a heck of a song.
Thank you. It's
a heck of a song.
Someone called me up on it a little while ago, saying it's a little bit Michael Jackson at the start, and I was like, I didn't see it to start with, but now I listen to it back, I suppose that it's just that very delicate vocal and the. Those lyrics, and it's a good song. I wrote that with Brian McKnight.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Good
in
Lord.
LA.
In LA. Here, hold on a second. You're mentioning LA. Well, that's okay. You can do the end thing. You're doing Brian McKnight and all that there, but I'm going to pull you up on one night. I know that you do gigs. Like, for instance, last night you were in the Empire in Belfast.
Yeah.
Right? And you do a lot of pub gigs.
Yeah.
You do a lot of rocky gigs. Mm-hmm. And then you do the odd corporate gig.
Yeah.
Right?
Where is this going?
Where is this going? Am I right in believing? Now, this is a friend of mine who's representing Northern Ireland. Did you do Miss World?
Yeah, I did.
Yes, Megan Green.
Megan Green, yes.
Yes, from Northern Ireland, texted me, Matt Cardle's gorgeous. Yes, so there you are. That's not bad.
Bless her. Well, she's gorgeous.
She's lovely.
She wouldn't be there if she wasn't.
No.
To be fair.
How do you, come on, tell us about that.
It was amazing. I mean, we flew over with the boys from Blue, who are just a brilliant bunch of lads.
Right.
I've got so much time for them. And it was a long, long way to go. So it was in Bali.
Well, she did it in Bali, right?
But I got into the arena and I looked at the stage and I saw all the girls up there and I was like, are there some backing dancers up there? Is there some extra choreography going on? Because there's so many of them. They're like, no, there's 130 countries. It's just insane.
And were they standing behind you whenever you performed, or where were they?
No, they...
Please don't tell me you had to look at 135 possible Miss Worlds.
I didn't. I only had to look at 6.
It must have been dreadful for you.
But the top 6, so... It was, it was brilliant fun, and I sang, one of my favourite songs to sing, I sang First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, and it was great, and again, it was emotional for me. I mean, there was about 1.5 billion people watching.
Did you pick out the winner? Don't tell me you did.
No, we all
did,
but it was very obvious from the start.
Was it?
And, well, I mean, it was a bit like the auditions at X Factor. I mean, the people who get the coverage, you're like, oh, okay, they're on the live show. Yeah. They're on the live show. It's like, you don't have to, will they get through? Of course they will. You spent 10 minutes on them at the first show. They're going to be in the final. Let's admit it. It was a bit like that. There was Miss Philippines was there getting a lot of airtime, and
you just knew. What you mentioned X Factor? Have you watched this series?
No, not yet.
Are you going to?
I'm in two minds. I might not.
I watched about 5 minutes of it, and I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. It doesn't do it. It is now turned, I think, more about the judges than it ever was.
It's been on for a long time. It's gonna have to come to an end at some point.
Yeah. Would you do Strictly?
Sorry, let me spat my coffee everywhere.
So tell us about the tour, because you're out and about. Whenever you start your tour, you go, right, I have to go there.
There are loads of places we've played. Obviously, the Odyssey, the Waterfront, the Olympia. I mean, we've played some great big venues over here and some great small venues all over the place. I mean, we did, I loved Hammersmith Apollo as much as I loved, the Empire Music Hall. It's at times, it is a different gig, Had I done acoustic show at Hammersmith Apollo, maybe would have loved that more. I don't know, but it was the right venue for full band at the Apollo, just myself at the Empire. It's cool.
Is it? Would you call the Hammersmith Apollo? Would you call that your home gig?
Yeah, I'm from London.
Yeah. Well, you're going to do something for us. I have to tell people, because people are tuning in at 4 o'clock and go, oh yeah, it sounds great. Can I just let people know that it is now 5 to 12 in the morning, right? You played last night in Belfast. You've already done about 4 or 5 radio interviews, right? Not about right?
That's about right.
Yeah. And now you're going to test your voice again?
I'm going to try.
Yeah, so here we go. What are we going to do from the album, Porcelain?
We're going to do a track that I wrote with a man called Alex Reed. Very talented guy. It's called This Trouble Is Ours. It's where I am, it's where you are. Heal the cuts and wear the scars. We're wrecking balls and camouflage. But the trouble
take her now. No trouble, please don't take her now. Sat alone through silent nights, back to back in silent fights, with heavy words and heavy hearts. The trouble is, this trouble's ours. The trouble is, this trouble is ours. Ooh, love, there's no doubt it's real love. Trouble, please don't take her now. No trouble, please don't take her now. Sat alone through silent nights, back to back in silent fights, with heavy words and heavy hearts. The trouble is, this trouble's ours. The trouble is, this trouble is ours. The trouble is, this trouble is ours. Oh, yeah. Ooh, love, there's no doubt it's real love. Trouble, please don't take her now. No trouble, please don't take her now. No trouble, please don't take her now.
The trouble is ours from Matt Cardle. I don't know about the trouble, but the pleasure most certainly is ours, Matt. That was great.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
No, really enjoyed
We made it through.
We did indeed. That's from the album, Porcelain. Is it out now? Can people get it now?
It's out on Monday.
It's out on Monday.
Out on Monday.
This day week.
Yes.
So let's make it a happy Monday.
Happy Monday. One of very few.
A happy Monday with Matt. Happy Matt Cardle. That's what we'll say.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure. I did mention earlier on that I think there's an awful lot of variety in the album. There's an awful lot of mood, an awful lot of emotion as well. There's an awful lot of honesty. So that's your bag. Go and get it. Matt Cardle, Porcelain. Matt, thank you.
Thank you so much.
There you go, that's Matt Cardle. We recorded that earlier on, and say good afternoon to loads of people who have been tweeting in. Anne Cardle, Mary Ann Johnson, who else we have? MCAG, Michaela, Julia, Team Matt Cardle. Lots of people out there, huge fans. There's Cardle fan. Helena as well. Even Andrea McGee, one of our local singers, of course, was on X Factor a few weeks ago. All fans of Matt, and the album, as he said, is out next week. Porcelain, I've heard it, and it is very, very good. Good fella.
I wake up in the